What's going on, everybody?
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome to Breakfast with the Brookses. I am super excited if you're just tuning in. Here's what I will tell you. We are live on YouTube 2019. For those that don't know us, my name's Glenn P. Brooks Jr. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a coach. And this lovely light-skinned young lady right here next to me is my wife.
Sheri Brooks Jr., author, speaker, relationship, and life balance coach. And it is such a pleasure to be with you guys on YouTube
I'm
this
trying to
Saturday
tell
morning.
you what's happening. So listen, guys, we craze right now. I have not slept in probably 2 weeks, right? So I've got plenty of coffee. We are on day 5 of a 21-day no sugar detox. So that means we might be a little hangry. So if we get being a little chippy with each other, y'all are just please excuse us. But
Right.
baby, we need to tell everybody what this show is all about. The truth of the matter is that we literally show up every single day or every single week here on Breakfast with the Brookses to add value to people's marriages and parenting relationships.
Right. I guess about 3 years ago, we founded Marriages and Parenting Successfully Relationship Academy. We've been coaching couples, coaching individuals for almost the past 20 years, and we decided to create an online relationship academy where we're able to add value to individuals who are married, who are couples that are looking to get married, to parents, single parents,
Yep.
and to individuals who are looking to one day be in a relationship.
Absolutely.
And just provide them the tools and the skills to be able to have effective and healthy relationships.
Absolutely. And guys, listen, we got a lot of technical moving parts here. The show is going to keep leveling up as we go. I just want to shout out some people that I see on YouTube. Karen, thanks for jumping in.
Good morning.
My sister Candace from Maryland. What's
Hey,
up, baby girl?
Ken.
Good to see you. Sharon Forbes, thanks so much for jumping
Sharon.
on. Karen Curry, thank you. Jacqueline, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Linwood Hurston.
Is that going to keep beeping?
No, that's Mike and them on
Oh,
that's we can
okay.
hear them doing their thing because
Oh, okay.
so don't worry about it. It's
I
good.
just
See, she's
asked
a little OCD, and my wife can't handle a lot of little
I
things
just need to know
happening.
what's going
she
on.
needs to know. So if you are a person that needs to know and you feeling Cherie, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Nikki, thanks for jumping in. Danae, thanks for jumping in.
morning.
The other half of Hurston and Hurston. I thought I saw Linwood coming there. Guys, listen. Here's what I need y'all to do. We are having to change our language a little bit because we're so used to Facebook. So I think on YouTube, you have to share it or you have to ask people to follow you. Whatever you do on YouTube, we
share this out.
Share this out. Like tag somebody. I don't know how it really works yet,
tag people.
but we're going to figure it out, guys. Babe, I am more than excited. And this
Yes.
is actually my first half cup of coffee, so I ain't even wound up yet. So listen, we have an incredible show for you guys today. I do want to, before we get started, I want to shout out Chesapeake Homes of Virginia, who are our new partners. And so,
Did you say Chesapeake?
did I say Chesapeake?
It's custom-
I keep saying
Custom
Chesapeake.
Homes
I
of
apologize, Brian. I apologize,
Custom Homes of Virginia.
Kenton. It's called Custom Homes of Virginia. Google it. Eventually, we're going to have emails, websites, whatever you need to do. If
So we
you're
can
ever
pop that
in,
up.
if you're ever in the Hampton Roads area and you're looking to build a home and you want to move to this way, you may want to check Custom Homes. They call themselves CHOV for short. It stands for Custom Homes of Virginia. You may want to give them a shout. But they've been very gracious to us. They've opened up this model home.
Yes.
And they told us, we want to partner with you guys. We love what y'all are doing with Breakfast with the Brookses. And we'd love for you to be able to do that in our home. And so this is our home for Breakfast with the
Breakfast
Brookses.
with the Brooks.
Until the Lord should say so, right? So do us a favor. Go on, check them out. I appreciate it. Yeah, Joe. I know this is brand new for me too. I know it. I appreciate y'all for jumping on. So, babe, let's just get right into it.
Okay.
So let's talk about what we're going to be dealing with over the next 3 months relative to marriages.
Right. So we have partnered with Alycia and Mike Johnson from Always Journal, and we're going to be doing a 3-month journal for your marriage.
Yep.
It starts on January the 14th.
Yep.
And it's going to take you through 3 phases to focus on your marriage. The first month is going to be focusing on you. The second month, you're going to be focusing on your spouse. And the third month, you're going to be focusing on your marriage. And so this is going to be some real intensive work
Yep.
for you to do
Yep.
for your marriage. And I think that it's a great idea, especially at the beginning of the year.
You know what I'm going to do real quick while you're talking about that? I'm going to go see if I can't dim them lights a little bit. They look a little bright.
Okay.
And I'm going to see what I can do, guys. I'll be right back. All right.
Okay.
This is live. This is live.
I think that it's a great idea at the beginning of the year to begin your year off focused. And one thing that I think is very important is to focus on your marriage. If you're married or if you're looking to get married, is to put in the work at the beginning of the year to set the direction and the tone for that year. And so that's why we've partnered with Always Journal, and we're also going to have them a special guest on today. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this 3-month intensive. But one of our goals is to help people to have healthy, functional marriages. And this is a great opportunity to help people really get deep and focus on what the real issues are, focus on themselves, and to be able to pray for their spouses and pray for themselves as they go through this thing called marriage, because it is truly a journey.
Ooh, Lord Jesus. Listen, speaking of a journey, and we can bring Mike and Alycia on, so y'all do me a favor, tag a friend, follow a friend, share a friend, whatever you do on YouTube. We're getting used to the medium. For my professional YouTubers, y'all will understand the pain. You two started once.
Bear with us.
So bear with us. We're going to grow together. But here's what I do want to do, guys. Listen to me really carefully. Marriage is hard work. So I wore my t-shirt today, baby, and it says, however, the ROI is priceless. For my non-business people, explain to them what
ROI?
People ask me that all the time, but that's why I put ROI on there, so they would ask me. ROI stands literally for return on investment. And I think, unfortunately, guys, most people don't look at their marriage as an investment opportunity. And so because of that, you never seize those moments. And so when you're looking to pull out of the bank something that you did not put in,
if you don't deposit,
if you're looking to pull equity out of a house that doesn't have any value, you're going to be short. You're going to be in trouble. So what we like to teach and train people, particularly in our MAPS Relationship Academy, is you have got to do the work to build your investment. And so marriage is hard work. That's why we have Mike and Alycia Johnson up. It is also for the mature. By the way, if you want to get any of these t-shirts, just go to our website, thecrcoach.com, and you can order one for yourself if you want to represent.
Marriage is for the mature.
Absolutely. You cannot.
Maturity is not defined by age.
Not at all. Not at all.
You can be 54.
I feel my help coming on.
And not be mature.
You can be 50 what?
54.
And not mature. Lord Jesus.
But
Lord.
you can be 23 and be mature.
Wow. So. That was supposed to rhyme. 23 and you can be, 21 and grown up. No, that don't even rhyme. Anyway.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Y'all get the point.
Listen. If y'all are ready for our guests to come up, I want you to put ready in the chat. Ready in the chat. For all my people who are listening, baby, we got 14 people live with us.
Amen.
That's amazing.
Yay.
First time out the gate. We got to start somewhere, right? I love every one of y'all 14 people. I'm hugging y'all right now. If all y'all share with one person, we would have 28 people, right? So do me a favor. I know that's right. Hey, what's up, Shirley? What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. So listen, we're getting ready to go to if you are ready. Okay, Jacqueline says she's ready. Karen says she's ready. I'm loving this. Officer Henry said he's ready. What's up, Craig? Good to see you, brother. Joe says he's ready. Nikkei said, George, what's up, Pastor George? My dude. I'm feeling the love right here, y'all. This is what's up. I hope you're feeling better, brother. We are praying for you. Yes. I've been thinking about you. That's not like you to be down this long, so we're praying that flu bug goes back to where it belongs in Jesus' name. Hugs back. We appreciate it, guys. You ready to switch? I'm not running the controls today, guys. I'm letting Sheri run the controls because I'm vowing in 2019 to give up control. Come on, baby. Let's go.
So we want to welcome our very special guests, Mike and Alycia from Always Journal. Hey, guys.
What's up, guys?
Hey. How's everybody?
Everybody is good. Good. Hey, listen, Mike, we got to stop hanging out like this, man, because I promise you, people going to start talking. They saying, wait, man, every time I see y'all coming in and out of hotels, you're in and out of houses, you're on cruises together. Like, what's really going on? What y'all got? Let me tell you this, Sheri, I've said this to Mike and Alycia a million times. And I've said this publicly, whoever coined the term no new friends was tripping.
Yes.
Guys, these are some very, very special friends. I don't know if y'all have ever met people that when you meet them, you feel like you've known them all your life. You feel like everything that it's not that you have everything in common. We do disagree on stuff, but it's so healthy. It's like we get to push back and we grow and we share some things. Alycia asked us a couple of months back, would we consider partnering with them. And would we consider doing a collaboration? Alycia runs a company. It's called Always Journal. She'll tell you a little bit more about that. Mike is a fitness expert. He's actually one of my nutrition coaches. And so he keeps me on track. Hey, Mike, I'm telling you right now, no sugar, brother. Day 5, you be proud of me. Day 5.
We trying not to kill each other.
And we trying to stay Murray. As they would say in DC, we trying to stay Murray. So, but what I want to do is I want to introduce you guys. Alycia, do me a favor. Tell us a little bit about not only you guys, but Always Journal. What is it and why is it so important for us to begin this journey? Because we have you guys on this collaborative effort that we're doing for the first quarter of 2019 is going to be off the chain. So talk to us a little bit about what that's all about.
Okay. Well, first, Always Journal is a promise that I made to God years ago. And I made a promise that if God showed me how to turn this mess of a life I had around, my finances, my marriage, my parenting, all of that stuff, I would squeal like a pig. If you show me how to do this, I'm telling everybody that crosses my path. And so that's how Always Journal evolved. And journaling literally saved my life.
Wow.
And this is the process. And this is the thing that Always Journal taught me and is teaching me, that there is no competition in God's economy. So initially, like when God gave me the idea to teach people to journal, you think about there are journals out here, if everybody journals,
right.
everybody
does
so
that.
What is this about? And in my spirit, God was like, but not the way you do.
Yeah.
And so that is what Always Journal is. Always Journal is our unique approach to helping people to journal through the process. And we, journal through various topics, breaking each topic down, journaling for 30 day blocks at a time. And that is what the Marriage Intensive is about. One of the areas that God healed for me through the process of journaling was our marriage. Mm-hmm. And so this intensive is really near and dear to my heart, because I truly believe that, like you said, marriage is hard work, but if you do the work, it will work. And that is my contribution. That's our contribution to marriage, to couples who want to make their marriages work. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not the type, like a lot of people, God hates divorce. God hates this. God hates that. And that's not necessarily true. If you're not equally yoked and God has not put that thing together.
We get ready to get on somebody's toes.
That's something. And so one of the things that we work with in this community as it relates to the marriage and peace, my first question is, did God tell you to stay? If God told you to stay, then I'm your girl all day long. Right. If God told you to leave and you're staying, then it's not much I can do for you. All of the journaling, nothing in the world.
God bless America and nobody else, as Chris Rock would say. Listen, Leach, I got to stop you right there. Listen, she coming out the gate firing at all cylinders, Mike. What did you feed her last night? This is not even nice. We always say we got a secret joke. Alicia's about that big, and we always tell her. We always tell everybody, look, don't let the smooth taste fool you. She will knock you out with these gems. Alycia, you said something that, Sheri, you and I have found to be the truth. When we talk about marriage is hard work, what we have found in our coaching practice is that people who put in the work win. Right. Point blank, into the story. When you decide that that's too much or I'm not doing that, that's when you begin. That's the beginning of the end, and you begin to lose.
Right. And one thing that I think is essential is that in marriage, especially when marriages are in crisis, when you're going through a really rough time, is that you have to focus on yourself and you have to do the work for yourself.
Absolutely.
And whether the marriage gets restored or not, if you work on yourself,
that's good.
You're going to be the better for it in the end. Yep. And so it's about you focusing on you. And it's very easy when we're in marriages, when things are going bad, we always point. He did this, she did this.
What about him?
But turn it back on yourself and focus on you, because you can't love another person if you don't learn to love yourself first.
I love it. I love it. Mike, let me ask you a quick question, man. There was a time in y'all's relationship where you was cutting up so bad. Alycia was like throwing oil on your pillow. She was slathering you down like you was going a pig to the slaughter. Like, and you was waking up trying to figure out what in the world is this woman
Waking
doing.
up, she's sitting over you praying.
Right. Today, and I want you to launch this for us. Today's topic, guys, we really want to deal with, and before we even go there, I just want to shout out to everybody on the timeline.
Yeah.
We're still figuring out this technical stuff. Eventually, we'll learn how to bring you guys' comments into the screen and things like that. But I just want to say shout out to everybody. Karen, do me a huge favor. Make sure, and I appreciate you for continuing to drop these website addresses in the link so people know where to go. Alwaysjournal.com, the crcoach.com. That's all you guys have to remember, and you will be able to get more information. But last week, Mike, we wrapped up 2018 with a comment that I put out on Facebook. And I basically put it out on Facebook and I said, what is it that you wish you knew before you said I do? What is the one thing or two things that you wish to God, boy, I wish I knew this before I said I do? And the comments, I mean, when I watched how the comments, when I say lit, I'm not famous, right, at all, right? And so I think it's honorable when one person says something on my timeline. But when literally all hundreds of people begin to I'm saying, wait a minute, brother, you done stepped on something. Something is working here. And people just will respond. And the responses were all off the chain. So I want you to think about, we're talking about journaling. We're talking about the process that your wife went through to win you. Because you was gone, bro. I promise you. And not that she hadn't had her stuff, because she had her stuff. And she's going to talk about it. But talk to us a little about one of the one or two things that you just wish to God you knew, prior to getting married, man, and probably would have informed things a little bit differently.
I think the biggest thing for me was just understanding that at the very core, I had a problem with abandonment. I've shared about my dad and the fact that he wasn't in my life, but as I went into marriage, as we went into adulthood, early adulthood, parenting and marriage, I drugged that problem with abandonment into it, and not realizing that it was like the core of a lot of problems that we were having.
Wow.
So
yeah, and I know, babe. One of the things that somebody pointed out in that feed was they said, I wish I knew me.
Right.
And I think that is one of those core principles that, and Alycia, this will be true. You really don't know you till you live with somebody in a covenant. Like, it's different when you even living together and y'all ain't married, because you can roll out.
Right.
You like, bro, I'm done. And it don't take a lot to dissolve that, right? But when you have like married things together, it becomes a lot harder to break that part. For you, what is the one thing or the two things that you feel like, what, if I knew this, boy, things would have been a little bit different more than likely?
For me?
Yeah.
Me?
For you.
If I had known that there are no perfect marriages, that would have been a game changer for me. Because I kept, like, we doing something wrong. Because we would just, you look at couples when they're out. Right. You're not going home with people. So we go to church and we see all these women be coming in like laid with the little babies and the hair's all slicked down and the little bows tied, right? And my kids, they eating, what are those animal cookies and like, like we just all toe up for real.
Yeah.
And so, knowing that there are no perfect marriages. And I think the second thing would be to not compare ourselves. Everybody has their own brand of crazy. And so we identified our brand of crazy, and we could work with our brand of crazy.
Yeah.
Your brand of crazy may drive me crazy, but our brand of crazy, we can do this all day, every day. And those are the things that if I had kind of somebody had schooled me on that in the beginning, it would have taken a lot of pressure off of me, because I'm trying. And Mike also, I think he was looking for the perfect marriage too.
Yeah.
Because it was awful. Because I'm thinking I'm doing stuff. He's like, you just don't have my back. You don't have my back. Well, I have your back. I don't, and those are the types
you like, bruh.
see other couples, like some, some wives they would be like, adjusting ties on people and all of that. Now, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm like, you don't even have I don't know how to support you. I don't know.
Adjust my bow tie.
Oh gosh, right. And I think that's a great point, Alycia. And I think that often what happens is that when we get married, for many of us, we didn't have a good model of marriage. Either our parents weren't married, or if they were, in a relationship, we didn't get to see the real.
Yeah.
We saw one side, but we never got exposed to what really was going on in marriage. And so when we get married, we have this fairy tale vision of what marriage is supposed to be. You watching Beauty and the Beast, you watching the Huxtables. For those of us from that generation, we had this idea of marriage, and that's a great goal.
Yeah.
In a sense, but that's not reality, because you didn't see the real, you didn't see the day to day. And I think that being in a community where you get to rub lives with people who are married, that are transparent, to share with you, look, I don't like that joke of the day.
Right.
I'm just, he getting on my daggone nerves.
The funny part is, I used to see you know how they had the soul food, that was a different movie, but you know how they had all that food, right?
Right.
And so, like you want to be the cook, like you want to have but you gotta make the money to buy all them groceries. Mm-hmm. You gotta go shop for them groceries. You gotta lug them out the car into the house. So it's not as sexy as people.
Right.
So by the time,
like we're gonna have Sunday dinner every night at our house, every Sunday.
Right.
We're gonna have the whole family.
And if we don't,
you know how much that costs?
Right. There's some hells to pay if you don't do it. Right.
I mean, I know some of us, our grandparents did that back in the day, but the cost of living was different back then.
The culture was different back then.
And they had help. They had help.
And this is the thing, back then, like they was eating fried chicken. If you think about what they had, it was not expensive food. But us and our bougie tales, we want to have the whole family over, and we gonna cook lamb and this, that, and the other. We trying to do all that. You know how much that costs?
And Alycia, Mike only eat 5 things.
Right.
So therefore, I mean, if you ain't got one of them 5, that brother ain't eating. So it's gonna be a problem.
Thank you. I used to, and that was one of the things with our relationship. I used to try to do that. I used to try to cook like my big mama, 2 meats. The greens, the black eyed peas, the cornbread, the this, and this is like when I could tell our marriage is on the decline. Mm-hmm. Might go in the kitchen and look in the pot. I don't eat pork. I don't eat this. You can't even pretend for one day,
Right. Look, I don't know if George Hawkins is still on the line, but that's you, George. You're like, look, I ain't got but 2 or 3 things. I don't eat that. I'm not eating that. I'm not trying that. No, sir, no way. And Charlene, I don't know if she's on the chat, but that girl can burn. And she probably looking at this joker like, what is wrong with you?
Right.
Guys, for those of you all who have just joined us, we're talking with our great friends, Mike and Alycia Johnson. From Always Journal. We are super excited to be entering into a 3-month, 90-day collaborative effort called Always or Journaling for Your Marriage. And if you want to know more about that, if you want to get in on that intensive, it starts on January the 14th. Please check out the link. They'll put it in the chat for you guys, www.alwaysjournal.com, or you can go to our website, www.thecrcoach.com. I just want to shout out a couple of people on the chiming in on the feed. Look, and Lynn would say, yeah, our brand of crazy. Because I promise you, crazy is a brand, Jack. Right. Jacqueline says, yup. Say that, Alycia. And then Danae said that unseen back end work ain't sexy at all.
Right.
I go by big homes oftentimes, and you go by these houses and people have these wish lists that include these big old things. But what they don't do is in that wish list, and Mike, you got to chime in on this because I know where you go in your head. Mm-hmm. They are not thinking about what does it take to maintain that. Yep. I never will forget one time when I was in the Army, this guy who had a dream to own a Corvette. I mean, he was just talking about this Corvette. He saved up all his money. He bought an old school. At that time, it was a 1976 Stingray, I think it was, right? I mean, the thing was beautiful. And what he realized was, Mike, when he bought that joint, I think he saved up cash, bought it. It was used. I think he spent maybe 10 grand or whatever it was. When he bought that, do you know this madman didn't have money to put gas in that car? I literally, we used to talk about him bad because we would be in the barracks coming out for, it's time to, to go out for the weekend or whatever. And this joker can't drive his car. He got to get up gas money for a 2-seater. He asking for people to ride with him so they can put gas. And he don't realize, Joe, that a Corvette will suck a quarter of a tank of gas idling. You get what I'm saying? So when we talk about that, I'm talking about process. I'm talking about embracing that. Mike, talk to us a little bit about what does that take, man, for you to realize, you know what, until you're willing to embrace this process, you're never going to get to the end game.
Yeah, and I think what you guys were saying earlier about just understanding yourself, starting from there, that's really the beginning of it. So if you try to attack it like we tried to, by trying to change the other person, we bumped our head against the walls for so many years because, I'm looking at her like, hey, you need to do this. And she's looking at me like, you need to do this. Versus looking inside and understanding exactly what your issues were with yourself, fixing those, and then, coming together and, in fixing the relationship.
I love it.
You talked about, that card thing, and we've had that, so I definitely understand that. And then the house thing as well. It's almost like, you go over someone's house and you spend all of your time in the living room, but you have no idea what's happening in the bedroom.
Right.
Woo,
right.
So
they don't shut up everything
in the closet in the bedroom.
Turtle, say that again, Turtle. Say that again, Turtle. Say that last statement again, please, sir.
No, everything that you don't see is in the bedroom, packed in the closet or under the beds or, stuff like that. So it was the same thing with us. And we had to understand that our mess was not uncommon. Right. And I think, the longer that we've been together and we've lived, it's like, yes, we have a mess and there's a way to fix it. And there's a way to get over this. Yeah. But it starts on the inside of us.
And can I add something to that?
Please, absolutely.
It's just
burning.
So on earth as it is in heaven, for everything in the natural, there's a parallel and corresponding occurrence in the supernatural, okay? And so our natural was such a reflection of what was going on spiritually. Mm-hmm. And so and this is one of the things we'll cover in the intensive, but your dreams, like as you're moving through this process, heaven speaks to you however heaven needs to speak to you. Mm-hmm. And I used to always have this dream that this house that we had in the dream, the first floor was immaculate, right? Mm-hmm. And every time I would try to go upstairs or downstairs, it was like pitch black. Like it was just dark, scary monsters, just ridiculous, right? Right. The same thing in our house in the natural. Like people would come over and be, oh, this is so nice. This is so cute. Don't go upstairs. Like everything that we would literally, this is how crazy it was. We would literally just take stuff from downstairs and just push it in closets. Like, ain't nobody got no business in this room anyway. So if they come in here, it's their fault. But that's how we were living our lives in the natural and in the spiritual. Wow. Because we had all of that junk that we were hiding from people as well.
And that's one of the dangers. Right. And you talked about this earlier, Alycia, about comparing yourself to other people. That's one of the dangers of doing that because you only see what they present.
Absolutely.
Right. You don't see all the stuff in the back. You don't see all the issues. I always tell people, if you want what I got, you got to be willing to go through everything that I went through to get it. And I'm telling you now, you don't want to go through everything I went through because it was a whole lot of trials, a whole lot of trauma to get here. So you need to go your own path. Right. Go through your own journey. Right. And even in marriage, don't compare your marriage to somebody else because you don't know what it took for them to get to where they are. I mean, it's good to use them as a goal in the sense of, I want a healthy marriage similar to theirs. Yeah. But don't try to duplicate what somebody has because their story is their story. Just like you guys have gone through your trials, your challenges in your marriage. And, I am glad and I'm honored to see where you guys are and all that you've come through. But I don't want to go through what y'all went through.
No doubt. No doubt.
The same for you guys. You guys don't want to go through what we went through to get to where we are. We've gone through, I had a nervous breakdown. We went through financial ruin.
It was bad.
For us to get to where we are today. And so I think that the key thing that I think all of us are saying is that the key thing for you to have a successful marriage is you have to focus on yourself first. You have to focus on what's the internal things and stop focusing on the external things in
Absolutely.
order to have a healthy marriage.
Absolutely. I just want to shout out everybody who's chiming in on the chat. Guys, listen, keep it going. Keep it going. Danae, I appreciate the comments. Candace, I appreciate that. No, you're absolutely right. You got to maintain. And I think, unfortunately, because people don't look at marriage as an investment, they take all of their time, they take all of their resources, they take all of their revenue, and they put it elsewhere, right? And we just got finished teaching in our MAPS Relationship Academy. We went through a series on values and establishing values. What do they look like? How do you develop your, what's a core value? How do you live with someone whose values are different than yours? How do you make that work now that you've said I do? How do you choose people based upon what it is that you value? And then now you're making your choices on who you're going to date, who you're going to marry, that kind of based on what you value. And the truth is that most people value what marriage looks like.
Right.
They don't value what marriage is. And I guarantee you, one of the exciting things that we've got on the horizon is that we're going to create a room. And if you're single and you're listening to this, either live or on a replay, I just want to ask you a question. Are you interested in getting married?
One day.
One day. And are you interested in staying married after you say I do?
Right.
If that's you and you want to learn how it looks to position yourself for that life, I want you to put me in the chat. I want you to put me in the chat because we're working on some things because it's unfortunate, man. You got people who are literally trying to mimic a farce. You're trying to mimic something that's fake. You're trying to, and so when you get that, you actually going to get what it is as opposed to what you think it is. And unfortunately, that will absolutely shipwreck. So guys, do me a huge favor. If you're on the chat and your name doesn't show up in your YouTube channel, do me a favor, type your name in. I'd love to shout you out. I think in work is Joseph. Good to see you on the line. Ree, thank you. Me. Okay, Jacqueline, me. I got it. Or is it Ree? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But listen, if that's you, put me in the chat. Danae, thank you for that comment. I appreciate you guys. Babe, one of the things, and I want us to kind of wrap up here, and we're going to spend a little bit of time, Alycia. I want to kind of help people understand this intensive that we're talking about. Is that work? Mm-hmm. And even if you are a single person, this is probably a great place for you to start. Let's say you are not in a relationship and you've been single for a second, but you know what? I'm trying to get married. Mm-hmm. I'm not interested in being single till I get in the grave. If that's you, talk to us, Alycia, about, and let's start there. Why is it important for that person to show up and begin to journal for a husband that they don't have yet, for a wife that they don't have yet?
That.
Talk to me.
That's one of the questions that have been coming through as it relates, because I put a questionnaire on the site so you can ask me questions. Is this for single people? Absolutely. If I had had an always journal or a maps if we had done this before we got married, we would have entered into that. Marriages, you will have problems. So don't think that this is going to be the panacea to everything. That is not what we're saying.
She's using her college words. She's using her college words. I don't know what panacea means. I need you to define that right there. So, shoot.
It's not a panacea, but the thing is that wisdom is power. Knowledge is power. And when you know what you're looking at, when you know what you're facing, you can deal with it better. And so as it relates to the journaling challenge, the only thing I will say about this journaling challenge, because it is journaling for your marriage, if you are not married, once again, on earth as it is in heaven, for everything in the natural, there's a parallel and corresponding occurrence in the supernatural. Mm-hmm. You are speaking things that are not as if they were. Mm-hmm. You have to be of the mindset and in the understanding that, behold, heaven is doing a new thing. Mm-hmm. You are positioning yourself to bring heaven to earth. Right. So even you have to be strong enough to understand that even though you do not see it in the natural, that it is coming. And this is the only thing I would advise singles who are joining the intensive to enter in with the mindset that heaven is doing a new thing. You are being prepared for your husband or your wife. And so that's what that is.
And Alycia, I just want to make a disclaimer to that statement. Now, what we're not saying is that at the end of this 90 days, your husband is guaranteed to come.
Right.
Oh, gosh,
So I don't want y'all thinking
we are not
he gonna
proper.
come.
We're not proper lying over here.
Right.
We're not proper lying.
No, we're not
But
proper
you're
lying.
preparing yourself. This
Right.
is
But
about
when
you
he does
preparing yourself
come or
for when
she
that
does
time
come,
comes.
you'll be ready.
No, absolutely. And here's more importantly, I think that particularly even where men are concerned, Mike, and you may want to chime in on this, but now you know what she looks like. In other words, the guessing game is over. There are so many of us, I know particularly as men, because of how we're made, we're visual creatures, and that's how God designed us to be attracted to what we see. Oftentimes, you find that men can't connect or commit because they're too busy looking. Well, what about, I don't, and, ooh,
and what do you mean when you say what she looks like?
Let me finish.
Okay.
I got you back. Okay. I'm gonna definitely, I'm gonna unpack all that.
Okay.
Because we are so caught up with what the culture teaches us of what beauty is and what beauty looks like, that is what's informing our decisions as opposed to who we are and what we need. And as a result of that, when you get the thing that you see, we talked about it earlier, oftentimes you're going to find that behind that veil of pretty, it may be something that you don't need. And so here's what I will tell you. What do you say, Mike?
It's a teenage mindset.
Come on, brother. Come on. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is talking right now. Come on, Mike. Talk to me.
We take that into marriage, and a lot of times we're just in my case, because I didn't know my dad, I didn't really have that example. You go into marriage with these, like Sheri said a little while ago. We take into marriage these things that we think it should look like. So we're looking at the outer side.
Yep.
Looking in the living room when we should actually be in the bedroom doing that work in that closet. And I think, I go back to that house thing because that's it right there.
Right.
If we would take our minds and our eyes off of the shiny, off of the nice stuff in the living room, understanding that in that bedroom, in that closet, that's where you work. That's where you need to be working at.
Bruh.
Right. And it just made me think, with us being here in Custom Homes of Virginia Model Home, don't just focus on the curb appeal. Come inside and look at the structure. Look at the structural integrity of the home.
That is good.
And that's how you make your choice that this is what's for me. It's based on that structural integrity. It's not the glam, the glitter on the outside. It's what's inside. It's that structure, that foundation.
Absolutely.
What is that person's foundation?
Yeah, no
what
doubt.
What are they built on?
Because when you talk about that, and Mike, I'm going to go back to you. I definitely don't want you to lose all of that thought. But when you talk about structure and you talk about I got that picture when you said go into the closet. Right? Mm-hmm. So that means when you come into a relationship, I want you to push past what you see and go for what you don't see. Mm-hmm. Some of you all sit down at dinner at a date and somebody says something that's off, but you don't challenge that because you don't know how to challenge that. Mm-hmm. And as a result, that's the closet.
Right.
When they say something that's just off and you're like, that just happened like the Matrix and something just changed. Right. And then you just push past that. Alycia, we get ready to get them. I can't wait for this intensive. Look, Alycia, because of the no sugar thing, I think I'm going to show up at 5 o'clock in the morning with y'all. The G-men are just going to be short. I'm going to be the only man in that room giving it to them. You feel me? on my little computer, I'm going to be in the dark talking about, yeah, get them. But I'm telling you, listen, guys, listen to me very, very carefully. The work is in that closet. When you go back, when I was in the military, and I go back to this analogy again, I never will forget when we would have inspections. And when they came into the room to inspect our room, you would get everything right. You would buff the floors. We'd be up all night buffing the floors, shining your shoes. Everything's out display. Our first sergeant, one of the first things he would do is he would go and he open up that wall locker.
Yep.
He want to know. And then what he would do is he would go down into the corner of that wall locker and he'd work his way back to the shiny when he walked in the door. Mm-hmm. And he would notice stuff talking about, you're out of order, Brooks. You're out of order. I never will forget First Sergeant Thomas. God bless his heart. You're out of order, Brooks. Yeah. And he would say, and I'm sitting up here saying, well, Jesus, I done worked all night. But first of all, didn't you see this floor? I mean, you could eat off this floor, bro. You see that shine? Bro, I mean, and that's the way relationships are working, y'all. Right. Y'all Bama's out here working on the shine. And here's what I know. The daggone thing ain't worth nothing. Come on, Alycia.
That's the thing. You have to, this is why we concentrate the first month on you. You have to understand that you are the foundation. You are the foundation. For your part of the marriage, you are the foundation. And that was the part that was breaking me down. Like every time Mike would say something to me, oh, it would just crush my little ego. Every time Mike would, oh, he's mad with me. Oh, is he this? Is he, I was constantly trying to make him approval addiction.
Right.
Joyce Meyer's book, Approval Addiction. I was an approval addiction
Me too.
addict.
Me
okay.
too.
But once I started to do work on me and I started to understand the truth of who God had created me to be, game changer. Because whatever he said, oh, that's not true. You just don't know the new me yet. That's all. And I could keep moving.
Absolutely.
Because my foundation was now, but the thing is, and like I said this on a few calls back, y'all gonna either love me or hate me. I'm not here to be your friend.
Right.
We're not here to be friends during this challenge. We're here to do the work. And you have to deal, like when you have to deal with your ego, because when God was breaking me down, I'm not going to take it any easier on you than God did with me.
Come on now.
God was like, you have a problem with pride. You have a problem with arrogance. Are selfish. You are this. But then you hear people on the outside. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so nice. Yeah, that's the living room. God was
right. Y'all don't know the real. Y'all don't know the real.
Don't let the smooth taste fool you.
And that's one thing that I tell the ladies in our group, and I just had a discussion with them recently, is that you have to remember, and even in our couples group, marriage is the best opportunity for growth in you personally. Marriage will rub you, will grow you, will stretch you, it's the best opportunity for growth you'll ever have in your life.
No doubt.
Because when you get married, things get exposed that would never get exposed about yourself.
No doubt.
They're only going to be exposed in marriage.
Yep.
And so if you go into it looking at it, okay, this is a growth opportunity. He's not my enemy. He's not trying to kill me. God is using him to show me some things about me in areas I need to grow.
Right.
And so if you approach marriage from a growth mind perspective, that this is an opportunity for me to grow, for me to become a better person, and you focus on you and stop looking at them.
Yep.
Then, it's a game changer. I think that, as you grow, as you evolve, that becomes attractive to your mate. When they see you growing, when they see you becoming a better person.
Sure. And here's the last thing, and we're going to wrap this up. We're 42 minutes, and we normally like to go about 30 minutes just to give y'all a taste. Today has been our debut 2019. Again, shout out to Custom Homes of Virginia.
Yes.
Here in Suffolk. We're going to drop some links within the within the description as we get better at this medium. We just wanted to get this content to you guys of how y'all can find out about them. But Mike and Alycia, with Always Journal, really, this has been a rich, not only time today, but a forecast of where we're going. You guys are 22 years in. That was a hard 22. And y'all make that was a hard 22, right, Mike?
It was a hard 22.
It was a hard 22. So a lot of times people, Alycia, we already know it, right? Sheri and I coming up on 20 years, right? But I had a hard 12 coming in. Our first 5 years was a hard 5 years because we were still trying to figure it out. She had a hard 2 marriages prior because we were shaped and built foundationally for what you guys see. Does it mean that we don't have problems today? Nope. But here's the difference between us and many other people. Our skill sets make it unnecessary for our problems to be exacerbated.
Right.
Our problems don't increase because our skill sets won't allow them. Because we're highly functional, if that makes any sense. And so it's not that we don't have issues. We just know how to address them in ways that they don't become bonfires,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And as a result. So guys, here's what I want you guys to do really quickly. If you are interested in this intensive, if you are interested in always journal and maps and going through this 90 days with us, if you are single and you want to position yourself so that you can become the very best you can be, thus attracting the very best mate for you, then what we want to do is we want to invite you to come and be a part of what we're going to start on January the 14th. It's going to be exciting. We're going to culminate it with a retreat and some other things. I mean, this is going to be an experience. This is not just work. This is going to be an experience.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait. I think that we're on to something, Alycia.
Yes.
And I think that the truth is that God is doing something awfully unique, and we're bringing heaven to earth in this respect. And I can't wait to see what it looks like.
Right. I'm so excited for the marriages that will be infused.
Oh man.
That'll be, the reconciliation that's going to happen as a result of this 90-day intensive. That's just my heart. My goal in life is to help people have healthy, functional marriages. Because I've had 2 failed marriages before, I don't want to see anybody go through what I've gone through, the pain that comes with that. And I believe that there are very few, I don't believe that there are any issues in marriage that if you both are committed to working on it, that you can't overcome.
Absolutely.
And so
None.
This is time for you. If you're still in it, even though it may be crisis, if you still want your marriage, invest in your marriage.
Yep.
Go through this 90-day intensive.
Yep.
And I guarantee if you both do the work, that God is going to move and that you're going to see a different you
Yep.
at the end of the 90 days.
Here's what I will guarantee, Alycia, and maybe you can co-sign on this as you sign off for us today. At the end of this intensive, I will guarantee you that you will have clarity.
Yes.
You will have clarity at the end of these 90 days. Many of you are faced with decisions. Do I stay? Do I leave? What do I do? I don't know what else to do. I've done everything I think I know to do. What this intensive is going to do is give you absolute clarity. If you are married, if you are single, you'll have clarity. There's some of you all, you might suppose to be single forever. That's not a bad thing. I'm not disrespecting that, but you at least will have clarity on it as opposed to going through this thing of, oh, no, that's a terrible way to go through life. So Mike, Alycia, close us out today. Absolutely, Candace. Thank you so much. # we all need some help, y'all. Ain't nobody got this thing cranked up. Joe and I will celebrate 25 years in marriage in April. Congratulations, Tish. That's what I'm talking about. That's what it looks like. But y'all putting in some work, man. And here's what we know. Them closets ain't always been clean. Help me, Jesus.
They ain't all clean now.
And they ain't all clean now. But y'all making it work because y'all up in that John on Saturday morning talking about we got to clean our closets. We got to clean this closet. We got to clean. Mike, Alycia, talk to us. Anything that you guys want to say in parting as we get up out of here today?
I personally want to say I have spent more money on a bad date than I have spent on this intensive. When I look at this, we have gone out on dates like when we were trying to fix our, where if we had personally invested that date money into, concert tickets, dinner,
come on now,
the outfit and all of that, we could have saved our marriage.
Right.
Sade didn't do too much for us.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my
God.
No. God bless Sade.
No. I love Sade, but
I'm helping your marriage.
That was not the marriage move that we needed to make to heal our marriage. A lot of people, and that's what I hear people saying, we just gonna go out on a date. We're gonna take a weekend away. We're gonna do this. We're gonna
vacation and it's gonna fix everything.
Take the right tools with you on that vacation, staycation, whatever it is, you're going to come back with the same mess.
Right. And
so being in community, being in alignment with people who have taken one for the team, have to. Now that's wise counsel to me.
Right.
So those are my closing words. I have spent more money on a bad date than I have spent than I would have spent on this intense.
Mike, I don't think there's much we can add to that, bro.
I think we've said it, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's really understanding where you need to work. Mm-hmm. So it's living room versus closet.
Yeah.
I think, so much time we don't really think about that. And if we really sit down and understand where we're going and work in that area that we need to work in, because, as you were talking a second ago, I'm like, in our marriage, we expect fruit from day one, and there's no trees bearing fruit from day one.
Right.
So you have to go through the
No
tilling.
tree bears fruit from day one. That's tweetable.
Process to get to the fruit.
Right.
Bruh.
And it takes a minute. And experiences comes with that.
Right.
And so every bad experience that we have is a good experience in a good marriage.
No,
Right.
I love it.
And that's
I
a
love
great analogy, Mike, because a tree takes years to grow.
Yeah.
It takes years to grow before it ever bears fruit. And like you said, we come into a marriage and we're expecting everything to just be perfect and we're going to have this lovely
It don't work like
relationship. And I think a lot of people honestly go into marriage as, and I know I did in my first two marriage was nothing but an extension to a dating relationship. It was like we were still dating, but we married now.
Right.
But I didn't understand the mindset. No, there's a covenant. There's a commitment here.
Absolutely.
There's something different. This is not, you're still dating and
Absolutely.
you're just living together and now you're married.
Absolutely.
There's a difference. There are things that happen. And when you are married, like I said, that rubbing of lives that happens when you're married.
It changes the game.
Yes.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to something that Karen said.
Mike.
I'm sorry, Mike. Come on. The turtle.
No, I just wanted to say, because something Sheri said sparked this. Just understanding, and no plugs, but
Please, plug.
This whole process, from someone that was actually sitting idle while she was doing this work, it works. She was actually doing in warfare for like 5-6 years.
Right.
And I'm sitting just doing my thing. And let me tell you, what she was doing was working. And like I said a couple weeks ago, praying over me at night, and I'm waking up and, she's standing over me. I mean, just all of that. Let me tell you, it does work.
Right.
He's trying to think is the oil like the precursor for the flame. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, listen, I want to return.
That olive oil or
Right,
is that
right.
lightning
Or is that
fluid?
lighting fluid? Right. So we're gonna end it here, guys. It's been 50 minutes. Let me ask y'all a question. Would y'all be willing to come back next week? I think we need.
Yeah.
I think let's play around, guys. If y'all would like us to pick this conversation up, there's some things that we didn't get to talk about today that I think could help. If y'all would like to have the Johnsons back next week, just put yes, just a string of yeses. If you'd like to see us continue this as a part 2, I'm thinking about several things that we can do next week, and this is off the cuff. I'm thinking we may need to do a part 2 because there are a few things that we need to kind of talk about and drill down on that I think would be really, really, really good. So shout out to everybody who's chimed in. Lisa Walker, my sister from another mister. Sweetie, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for doing what you do, showing up as a beautiful single woman, handling her business, doing what needs to be done. This intensive is for you. When we came together with Alycia, I thought about folks like yourself, Lisa, and Karen, and just different people who I know are crushing it. And they are absolutely people who are good folks. And they're just trying to figure out, how can I attract what I am? And I want to help position y'all. So do me a favor, sign up. I don't mean to shout you out, throw you under the bus, anything like this. Please don't be embarrassed. But I just want to let you know that we're going to do it. So we got a bunch of Damon and Marsha. Good to see you guys. Rhea, thank you for saying yes. Linwood, thank you for saying yes. Okay, guys, the people have spoken. Y'all will be back. I don't know what y'all had on y'all schedule for next week, but
We'll try to figure it out.
we're going to try and work around it. I saw it. Sorry, but not sorry. Anyway, guys, we're going to get out of here. Again, shout out to Custom Homes of Virginia, Custom Homes of Virginia. We're going to show you guys different looks. Next week, we may have a different set that we show you, just different parts of this house. It's a beautiful home. They have 40 different, I think, properties, land that you can build a custom home on in and around the Hampton Roads area, baby. And for somebody who's interested in having a home built like you want it from the ground up, this is the builder for you. They do some incredible work in this area, and we're going to talk more about them as we get up out of here.
All right. This has been a great show.
Oh,
this
my
was
gosh.
a great debut
Yes.
on YouTube. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for sticking with us through the show.
Yep.
Thank you, Mike and Alycia. And we're looking forward to
However you share this out, please do it.
Whatever you do on YouTube.
Whatever you do on YouTube to share it. Connect, tag, share. We love you guys, Mike, Alycia. Love y'all.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
y'all more than you will ever know. And we're just super excited. At the end of the day, guys, we always like to leave off by saying, listen, we all need some help.
Have a great
Y'all be
Saturday,
good.
guys.
We'll talk
Y'all
soon.
too. Take care.
Love you guys.
Love you.